Folks, today on the Stoney Ridge Farm channel, we've got a new tractor that don't run, and I've got my finger in the fuel tank right now. Come along as we have some fun fixing this old tractor and driving it home. Come on, bro. It's just so much. I can't believe that was in the fuel system. Good morning, buddy. Good morning. Come here. You're a good boy. Good morning. All right. Let's go eat breakfast. Go eat breakfast. Bam. Tools. Everything's empty. Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday to you. If it is Saturday where you're watching, it's a gorgeous morning and we're off the Stoney Ridge Farm, and today is going to be super fun. I just picked up this tractor, and this is a Ford 2910. I have no idea what year model it is or anything, and it does not run. It will not run, it will not start, but I've heard it run in the past, and I've got a pretty good idea of what's wrong with it, and we're gonna start this puppy up, and we're gonna drive it home today. I hope. Fingers crossed. Let's have some fun here with a new Ford 2910. All right, folks, welcome back to the Stoney Ridge Farm channel. If this is your first time here, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Love to have you back. This is a Ford 2910 that I don't know a whole lot about, except for I know the fella that bought it brand new, and I know that it's been well cared for ever since birth. So let's walk around this machine real quick so you guys have a advanced understanding of what we have. So this machine comes with a brush cutter, brush hog, whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure what brand this is. You guys tell me. I don't really know. It may be a Ford brand. It's been repainted several times. It also comes with a bunch of implements. So I've got implements here. There are some implements out there. Stick around to the end of the video. We'll walk you around and show you all the implements that come with this tractor. What it includes a scrape blade, a bush hog, and a few other things. So this bush hog does have a slip clutch in it, which means it's a pretty good machine, I would say. I don't know the exact year of this, but we may find out here in just a second. Looks like all of our owner's manuals are right here. I still don't know what year it is. I think we'll probably have to look at the serial number in order to figure out what year it is. I might give that to you guys and let you figure it out for me. Tell me how many horsepower this thing is. You can go online and find that out. But we're covered in dust and soot and nastiness. This thing has 922 hours on the hour meter. And it comes with a bunch of extra filters and goodies like that. So let's just go ahead first of all and take our extra filters and put them on the ATV. What I did this morning, first thing, was I grabbed the ATV and I loaded up all the tools that I thought I might need for this job. We'll set those up here on the front rack. Before we start doing anything, try and start this. And I want you guys to see what it's doing and how it's behaving. It does have a battery tender on it, so the battery is full. This is a monstrous battery, but it's from 2021 and we're in 2024 right now. So I think first things first, we need to check the oil. We need to check the hydraulic fluid, make sure we've got all of our oil and fluids topped off. And I think we have a fuel delivery situation here. What my thought is this new diesel, this garbage you buy in the store nowadays, is clogging up the fuel system. In other words, I think it's developed some rust or algae in the fuel system. So first, let's hit it and see how she starts. By the way, I want you guys to tell me what you think this tractor is worth, but let's go ahead and make sure we're in the correct gear. We're neutral. Our kill switch is pushed in. Lights are off, everything's good, PTO is off. All right, let's hit it and see what she does. All right, so don't do as I do as I say. I'm actually gonna turn this over and we're gonna shoot a little bit of starter fluid into the ignition here on this machine. Let's try that real quick and see if we get it to fire. I know it runs, I know it will fire, I'm pretty sure it will. So let's see, let's get it, hit the intake real quick. Contact! Okay, let's do it one more time. We have a fuel delivery issue going on here, guys. We're not getting fuel all the way through the injection pump and into the cylinders. And if you don't know, it's not about spark here, it's about compression, which makes that diesel fuel ignite. So we've got to figure out why it's not getting fuel to the injectors right here. And let's take you down and show you exactly what we have and what we're working with. So this is our injection pump, okay? You can see the arrows, indicator arrows, which way fuel flows. And what I think we're going to need to do here is simply crack open some fuel bleeders and see if we can get it to bleed out any fuel. There may just be air in the fuel line right here, but I think the first thing we do is we turn off our fuel from the gas tank right here, from the fuel tank. And then we take this line loose and make sure we're getting flow through this valve into here. If we're not, we may have to siphon out the old fuel and replace it with new fuel. Clean this whole fuel tank, fuel system, and see what the fuel looks like also. This should drive home today. This is a bucket for catching the fuel. I want to check and see what this fuel looks like. This is a siphon hose, and basically the way it works is you just shake it inside the fuel tank and fuel will start coming out. I want to see what this fuel looks like. Okay, so let's go ahead and siphon some out and see what it looks like. Open up our fuel tank. Evidence of moisture. Evidence of moisture, that rust right there. This diesel fuel nowadays is not the diesel fuel of your grandpa's day. There's some trash in this fuel tank. It's got to be. This tractor hasn't been run in a while. Looking at the fuel itself, looks pretty good as we get closer to the bottom. Am I pulling out any trash? I honestly don't see any trash. Isn't that a cool siphon setup right there? I'll post a link to one of these critters in the video description for you. That's what our fuel looks like. It just looks like diesel fuel. It doesn't look bad at all. Let's shake this guy out. Set him kind of to the side. We may need to use this again. So this tractor belongs to my neighbor. Well, did belong to my neighbor. I basically bought it sight unseen, knowing the history of the machine, and I'm pretty happy with that. I know it's a low hour machine. I do have a set of wrenches here that are designed for taking hydraulic lines loose. I forget what you call those wrenches, but they didn't come in a very good pack, so I just got them in a heavy-duty Ziploc bag. We're gonna crack this fuel line and see if we get flow out this direction from this connection right here. This looks like a 5/8 connection. Pretty loose. Poke around with the air hose and potentially blow back up into the tank. We'll see. Okay. It's got a rubber seal in there. Pull that line back. I see a little bit of trash. Let's get you guys in here a little closer. I can see some trash right in there. Let me get a paper towel here. Just a little black stuff, nothing major. Let's do the telltale here. We're gonna open up and see if we get fuel flowing out of the fuel tank. It is dry. It didn't leak any fuel out right there. And this is all the way open. The valve is all the way open and no fuel is coming out. I can't get my hand all the way down in there. I think the next step is to remove this entire apparatus. That is totally clogged. 100% totally clogged. Our little valve down here is totally devoid of fuel. I'll bet you if we unclog that, we can get this puppy started. I hope we don't have to replace the fuel tank. Look at that. That's just from where I tapped on the top of the fuel cap. I'm gonna guess that there is a big bunch of debris in this thing, and that's what's causing all of this trouble. So we'll take our little adjustable here. Oh, okay, so it turned. That's good. I don't have a lot of experience. Is that loose? Yeah. Don't have a lot of experience with Ford tractors. And I don't have a lot of diesel experience, to be honest with you, but I do know the principles of how everything works. I'll tell you guys what I paid for the tractor real quick. So tractor with implements, not running granted, 900 hours. I think a fair price. I paid 5,000 bucks for it. I think that's a pretty fair price. I don't know exactly what year it is, but this will make a good backup tractor, a good second tractor, a good bush hog tractor, something to pull chicken coops around the farm with. I mean, you just can't have too many machines, and for $5,000, it just is what it is. I think it's going to be a great machine to have on the farm. I'm a little concerned when I take this loose that fuel's just going to go everywhere, so I'm going to make sure my fuel bucket is right down here to catch any kind of anything that might come out. Oh, goodness. Oh, gosh. Look at that. There it is. My finger's in the hole, but that's our clog. That's it. That's what's doing it. Oh. Holy cow. I'm going to pull this gumball out. I need another hand is what I need. I brought a pick to clean this with, but it's... Oh, I've got diesel fuel running into my pants. Okay, it is gooey, ooey gooey nasty. Okay, dummy, let's go ahead and put this back. Oh! Oh, we got a bite. Okay, let's siphon all this old fuel out. We got to get rid of this. This is just a disaster. It's all over me. Oh, dummy, should have done this at first. I, again, thought I could just blow through, and the fuel looks great. Fantastic. I think we'll have this thing running in about 5 minutes. The people I'm buying this from are very obsessive about maintenance, so I know this tractor has been very, very well taken care of. The gentleman that owned this tractor passed away about almost 2 years ago. He's the same person that I bought my $100 pickup from. If you guys have been on the channel long enough, you'll recognize, we'll actually get you some footage of the $100 pickup right now. I hate that he's passed away. Part of the deal with buying this tractor from this lady is she doesn't know how to drive it. She doesn't really know how to use it, doesn't feel comfortable using it, and she's got a really long driveway. We just came down that really long driveway. So what I included in the tractor purchase, because I feel like she gave me a really good deal, I included maintenance on her driveway for the next 5 years. What do you guys think about that? Is that a good thing? She's a widow, she's a sweet person, she's actually family, and I think it's good that I can come up here and help her out. A good deed and a cool tractor. And some fun. All right, I got a bigger drip pan under here now. We're gonna go ahead and just take this thing loose and let that fuel run right out. Ooh, daddy. Wow. Come on, bro. It's just so much. There can't be that much fuel in this tractor. Holy cow. I'm catching it. How is there that much fuel in this tractor? Oh my goodness. Oh, there's trash in there too. I feel it. I can't believe this thing has this much fuel in it. I'm gonna cap it back off and siphon again. I don't know what else to do. Oh, we gotta be getting close here. That's it. Oh, look at that booger that just came out. You guys are gonna love this. Look at this nasty thing that just came out of there. You just ain't living right if you don't get fuel on you. It's sticky. It's really sticky and nasty. Here's our valve, and here's my pick tool. How much will I pull out? Oh, it's like, oh, dude. Look at that. What? I figured there'd be a filter in there, but there's no filter. It's just got a chunky monkey in there. I can't believe that was in the fuel system. So let's open our valve and blow through. It's still clogged. Good. Yeah, baby, that's octane. I'm gonna need a shower after this, guys. I might need a full-on shower in a Ajax bath. It's still clogged. Still totally clogged. Let's take, this is a Ford little quick release right here. Oh, dude. I don't want to tap it too hard because I don't want to damage it. Let's blow through again. Nope. Let's blow backwards. Nope. In my tool bag, I happen to bring a pair of channel locks. We'll pull that pin out. Oh, pin came out. Little retainer clip. Set that to the side. This should pull the innards inside of the valve out. It should just be able to unscrew all the way till it unscrews all the way out. Yeah. Still got boogers on it. What is that? Ooh. Oh. Let's reassemble. Let's blow it out good first. Oh, it's still not getting through that. I'm gonna have to take that apart. All right, let's take this guy apart and see what kind of trash we've got in here. Oh. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Look at this. The whole fuel system is clogged up with these boogers. Dental pick. Gosh, I hope none of this made it through. Uh-oh. Don't worry, we'll rinse that off in the gas bucket. Just put that in the gas bucket. Oh man, look at this. Oh, that's so bad. Little dingleberries coming out. Oh. Dingleberry fuel system. Evidently the fuel system cleaner I put in did not take the dingleberries out. There should be a filter down line to keep this from happening inside the injection pump and inside the engine, but this is what old diesel fuel does nowadays. Gosh, it's so bad. I guess I can go ahead and reassemble the valve portion. Simply stick that back in, screw it back down. Okay, and now I should be able to blow through. That's fuel flow right there, baby. That looks clean as a whistle now. Let's put my retaining clip back in place. Slides right back in here, just like so. And we'll close the valve, make sure it still works. Boom, bam, yes. Cleaning on this crusty thing here. Algae, that's what this is, just total fuel algae from water building up in the fuel tank. Condensation. This is not your grandpa's diesel fuel, I'm just telling you. I will be absolutely amazed if I can put this back together without it causing a fuel leak. We still may have work to do in the shop in the future with this. I'm just gonna go ahead and tighten this back down. We're gonna see how she works. Reconnect our fuel line. Okay, it's got a little rubber connector on there. Oh, we should double check that it's coming out first. Let me put some fuel in this machine real quick. Before we connect up, we need to make sure we got flow. Tell me what I'm doing wrong, guys. Be brutal. Ooh, baby. Good diesel. Now let's turn our fuel back on. Oh, this poor GoPro. It's getting soaked. We get fuel flow through. Yes, we do. Very good. Oh, baby. Snug as a bug. Sometimes you gotta prime it, and sometimes you can just turn it over, and eventually it'll pick up fuel. We're gonna try the easy way first. See how we do. Here we go. Come on, baby. Contact. Come on, baby. Pick up fuel. Pick it up. Pick it up. You got it. Oh, man. We are so close, but I'm going to go ahead and crack a couple of these injectors over here and see what we can get. Oh, right there, up to there, into there, out of here, into there. There's a bleeder screw on the injection pump here that I can also use. I'm seeing fuel here. I'm seeing fuel. Okay, we got fuel all the way down to the injection pump. That's a good thing. Little tiny bleeder screw. Break that loose, if it'll come loose. Yep, there we go. And I got fuel there too. I'm gonna hit it, see if I can kick more fuel out of that. Oh yeah, she's straight up spitting fuel. Let's move our drain pan. There we go. Be responsible. Gosh. I want all you big-time pro diesel mechanics to let me know right now. Is this stupid or not? I'm gonna try it with some starter fluid one more time here and see what we get. Hit it! You turd. Stupid that I have done in the past, and I'm gonna do it right now. It involves putting my mouth on that fuel filler neck. I blow into the fuel filler neck as I start, and it pushes fuel up. I have done this before, guys, believe it or not. I don't mind the taste of diesel fuel. Don't do this at home, kids. I did it. Tell me, guys, post a comment. What am I missing? I'm missing something. I am missing something. right, I need your help. All you guys, all you backyard diesel mechanic guys and gals, let me know. It's got fuel all the way up to the injectors, but I'm not getting any fuel into the engine enough to make it fire. It's a 3-cylinder engine. This is just odd. Fuel pulsate, let's see what we get. No fuel pulsating out of there. Hold on. Okay, I see fuel. What you doing, bud? You should be pulsing fuel right now. Let's get this up, out of the way. Pulse fuel, need it to pulse. It is doing what it's supposed to do. However, the fuel has not yet made it to the combustion chamber, and that is all there is to it. The only way to really get that fuel up to the combustion chamber, the quickest way, is to disconnect the injectors. In order to disconnect the injectors, I have to take this loose and the battery rotates out. We loosen this guy, wing nut, and drop it out of the way. And here's the proper wrench. Will this provide me access to the top of the engine? What, Ford? You were thinking. Let's take this critter off. And here, what? There are actually some bleed screws on the tops of these. I think this is the right guy. There you go, buddy. Oh, that popped it. I got fuel right there. Okay, that's a good sign. Pop this one. Do I have fuel there? Let's hit it and see what it does. Yep, I've got fuel coming out of the injectors. We have fuel all the way up to the top of the engine here. I think we're about 2 seconds away from starting. That's plastic. That's nylon. Okay, thank you. I think what I've got to do is trick this engine into thinking we're going for a drive. We're just gonna latch it down. We're gonna wipe it off. We're gonna show it that we love it. All right, we love you, Mr. Ford. You got this. And let's try again. One more time. You hear that? I hear a difference in the way it's behaving. Totally hear a difference right now. Let's keep at it. I think we got this. We are 6 days later. We are nowhere near that tractor right now. Here's the situation. So I had to order about $1,000 worth of parts for that tractor. I did not anticipate that at all. I spoke to the lady that I'm buying the tractor from, and we knew that it ran a while back, but it would not start. So I kept on grinding on it and digging on it and trying to get it to start and trying to get that pump to prime. We'll go up there, we'll review everything that we did, but it came down to this. I had to order a new injection pump, and if you've ever fooled with anything like this, injection pumps are absolutely expensive. Here's the injection pump, and the problem, and you'll see it up at the shop there, up at the garage, this is the return point for fuel. And the old one, it was right here. I do believe that the injection pump on that tractor had been replaced before. This has what's called a banjo bolt right here, and I'll explain that to you real quick. We'll take it apart. That's for your return for your fuel. There is a crush washer here. Set that guy down. This is a spacer just on there to protect it. And there is a banjo bolt. That bolt has a little hole in it. Well, since this pump had probably been replaced before, they didn't have the exact fitting that needs to go in. So in other words, this won't work with that banjo bolt. So what I had to do was do a little finagling. I went out to my buddies at Smith Tractor, the Pine Hall Mall. If you guys have seen that video out there before, I went out to these guys and they basically have every tractor part you can think of. He pulls out a bag of parts, and I picked up this guy right here, which is a banjo bolt or a banjo nut fitting, okay? This won't go through there. It's just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit too small to go through there. So what we do, we've got some spider bits right here. This is a spider bit kit. And we are going to get on the vise and we're going to drill this puppy out. This is our fitting. I have 2 of them in case I mess this one up. A 3/8 is a little bit too small, but that's okay. That's what we're going to be using. And you can see it just barely goes through there. So all I'm doing is kind of honing this critter out a little bit. Let's see how that works. These are supposed to be super ultra high quality metal bits. What? Oh my goodness. That is a very high quality bit. Okay, so now we've blown that out. We've got to test it. See if we've blown it out far enough. And we have not. We're gonna open up here, flip it, and repeat this until we get it right. We don't want those little metal particles in our injectors. Bam! That's it. Okay? Now that we got this critter ready to rock and roll, we need to slip our crush washer back on here. And we're going to see if it bolts up. We've got a little gap in there where fluid can get through, which is what we need. Let's try it on the pump. So we'll screw this into our pump, just like so. Okay, that fits. Now, I had to find a way to get this line, and I've got to replace this line, totally replace it. I had to figure out a way to get this line to mount up with this guy. So that's my fitting there, that's my fitting there. This has been a super challenging issue here, guys, and I also bought a couple different fittings. This has really been a challenge. So screw this guy onto here, and I don't know exactly which challenge I'm going to, or which way I'm going to do this. And we install that, and then this is our return line that goes back up to the top of the injectors. The problem is that this is a little bit loose in that fitting, okay? So I have got to figure this all out. Secondary problem is we may get an air leak right here or a fuel leak right here. So I'm going to hit this with some fuel tolerant tape right here, okay? Teflon tape. So we'll snug that guy down, and then we'll Teflon that, and then we'll put either this tip on to slide that in, and that's what it had connecting. A barbed fitting was what was connecting up at the injector. So I feel like we're going to be okay. I did get a new line, so I think we're going to build this out right here on the bench instead of building it out up there in the dirt. I think that's a smart thing to do. So we'll see you guys once we get it all built out and we're headed up there to the tractor. And this again is at my neighbor's house, so we should be just fine. Here we are at the dream tractor once again, and what I've got to do is remove the injection pump. I've got to disconnect 1, 2, 3, 4 connections right here, as well as this connection right here, then pull out 3 bolts, one of which is pretty hard to reach back in here. The injection pump then should slide out. Hopefully the starter's not in the way and I don't have to remove the starter. This is an expensive job when you hire somebody to do it. And the reason it's expensive is because it sucks. It just absolutely is a royal pain in the butt to get this done. So fingers crossed I don't have to pull the starter in order to do this. I am really hoping I don't. If I get to that point where I might have to pull the starter, I may have to pull this cap off. I did pull that off, that cap off the pump. This is the pump end, and I could see nothing wrong with it, no trash in there, anything like that. We've just ruined the injection pump by probably trying to start it dry, which is not cool. So it's just a matter of popping parts off and putting parts on at this point. Fingers crossed, then we'll prime the system. Not a pro mechanic here. Guys, don't be afraid to dig right in and try this yourself. Here's what I've gotten. I've got all the lines disconnected here, all of the linkage disconnected from the throttle and everything. I've still got to remove the pump. I did not anticipate this. I had to pull the radiator hose off, get it all out of the way, and another breather hose, an oil breather hose, which is sitting right here, connects right up top here. Okay? Had to pull all that off and remove this cover right here, which covers the gear that rides on the timing gear right here. So they're 1/2-inch bolts, everything's 1/2 inch, and I've popped these guys loose right here. I'm just hoping I don't need a wheel puller to get that off. That's where we're at. This I thought was going to be an hour. Not an hour. I don't have a gasket to put back in place where I pulled that cover off. I may have to make one. That's all right though. A little trip to the auto parts store, 5 trips to the auto parts store, should be just fine. I had to pull this hose off and it's inevitably dripping. So I'm taking a napkin and kind of balling it up. I don't want to put any trash in there. I'm taking a napkin and balling it up, tucking it in here to keep it from dripping off into the gear housing right here. And the gear is free. So all I've got to do right now is mount this gear, and I guess I could take it out. I don't think I could take it out. Mount this gear onto the end of my shaft here, my pump shaft. I matched up the spline right here with the direction that the spline was going. Clean this up really, really well back in here. There is a seal right there. It came with a gasket, but I'm not going to use a gasket. It didn't have a gasket. I got the old pump off, which is a major accomplishment. You can see this is what we have. And I just don't think the pump was turning in the inside internals. We may bust into this. I'm going to talk to a person that rebuilds injection pumps and see if we can do a video inside the factory where they rebuild, or inside the shop where they rebuild injection pumps. So stay tuned for a future video. Be sure you subscribe. Let's get this puppy mounted back up, and I've got to make a gasket. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get some RTV. You guys tell me what color RTV. I'm thinking the gray RTV is what I need to put that pump cover back on. This was way more involved than I thought it was going to be, but we've got the pump mounted up. Super simple. There is a gear in here, and I'm going to show you how all this works. You really, hopefully, can't mess it up. I've got to reinstall all of my lines right now, and I've got a little bit of coolant issue going on. My coolant is trying to come out of this pipe right here and run right onto my gear, which takes oil. We don't want water in our oil, so I've been stuffing paper towels in there, letting them absorb. I guess let's just get you in here real quick and show you what we got. So all of the fixtures from this original setup are in place now. I put this elbow in place. I put this in place. I've got this line all hooked up. This line is hooked up, not tight yet. And I've got this line, which is sitting up here on top. This is where our gear rides on our camshaft right here. So this is the gear that drives the pump itself. I didn't know all this until today, so this is all new information for me. Hopefully this is teaching you guys something if you have a similar problem or if you have to change an injection pump. So what I had to do was take these three bolts out. Then I had to pull this cover, which is sitting right over here, which is crusty and nasty, and I don't have a gasket for it. So I'm gonna clean this really, really good. And here's what I bought. Permatex, the right stuff, 90-minute gasket maker. So we're gonna make a gasket on this. We're gonna be sure as we make our gasket that we get around each one of these little holes right here. And then we'll mount that up and screw it down, tighten it up. And by the time we get all this stuff put back together, our 90 minutes will have passed and we can fire this puppy up. I also had to drain all of the coolant out of this tractor in order to accomplish this task. So I had to go buy some coolant radiator caps right here. So we've got a coolant, I guess, flush and fill included in our service right here. That is the hose that I had to take off, and thank goodness it is labeled top, okay? If I had more time, I would go ahead and order this hose. Super simple to get it off. I think I'll order it after the fact and put it back in place, and this is just a guard that keeps stuff from splattering off the engine onto that hose. So next step is take a scrape blade, scrape all this off, get some Permatex on here, clean this off, and mount this cover back over top of our gear assembly right there. Pretty cool. This is really fun. I like doing this kind of stuff, but it's a little frustrating and a little bit of a learning curve. We've got everything buttoned up. Everything looks tight. Everything looks good. The next step in this process, there's a bleed screw right down here on the bottom of the, or the side of the injection pump. I'm gonna turn the key over until I start seeing fuel kick out of the bleed screw for a few revolutions, okay? Then we're gonna start priming up to the injectors, which, fingers crossed, that's what the other pump would not do. It wouldn't push fuel all the way up into the injector. So let's see what we got. That's our bleed screw right there. Loose. Neutral, kill switch in. Here we go. Might take quite a bit of turning here. Yep. Okay, we got fuel. Keep turning it. All right, our bleed screw is good. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten that down, and we're gonna see if it comes out of the injectors. I think I blasted the camera down here with diesel fuel. Yep, sure did. It's a little cloudy. Hi, everybody. I do not have my radiator full yet. I'm not gonna put it all back together just to not jinx myself, so here we go. We're gonna turn it over till we start seeing fuel. What? Battery back in. If this thing fires, we're gonna shut it right down and go ahead and add our coolant, and then we're gonna drive it home. Yeah! Contact! Yeah! Oh crap! Just puking coolant everywhere. Awesome, we got it right, baby. Now, hopefully we didn't develop any air pockets in the engine from being a dummy and starting it without coolant. I break these all the time. I'm really bad about over-tightening. There we go. Let's get this coolant in here. Whoa, funnel needed. Oh, not too bad. Right, here we go. Let's fire it up. Let that run down in there a bit. 1, 2, 3. Neutral, yes. Contact. All right, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1 There we go. Smooth it out. All right. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Lost prime. Trying. There's no better joy than that right there, guys. Check her out. Ford 2910, purring like a kitten now. That is awesome. Yeah. A little bit of rusty crustiness going on here. We got our new injection pump rocking and rolling. Awesome. Well, guys, thanks so much for tuning in to the Stoney Ridge Farm channel today. You're gonna see more of this tractor on the channel. I'm super excited. Ford 2910, tell me what you think. Did I get a good buy? I think I got a good buy. I do have some money in it now, though. Pretty cool, guys. Thanks so much. Hit that like button on your way out the door. Be sure you subscribe to the channel for more action with the 2910. Yeah! Woo!
Come on down to the Stoney Ridge. Bring your wife, bring your kids. We're living life pure and sweet. That's the way it's supposed to be, Stoney Ridge.
Get a tractor start.
Now you can see a little bit better that right there. That's one taking off.
This thing was slap full. Slap daddy full. Is that octane 93 you're wearing, baby? Oh, yeah. Nope. So let's open our valve and blow through. Good. Yeah, baby, that's octane. I'm gonna need a shower after this, guys. I might need a full-on shower in a Ajax bath. If you guys fuel don't taste very good. Yep, that's smart. Yeah. Diesel fuel. Yep, sure did. It's a little cloudy. Hi, everybody. Now down inside here, it's got a little diesel fuel. We need some glass cleaner on that. Coming off. That's my old Beta.